Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. I think I need some light here. Hold on a sec. All right. So, last session we did tried very long to figure out how to fix this initialization order problem. I think I have a plan now. I'm still not 100% on it, but at least for the debug init, I think we can solve this. For the debug init on static initialization, I think we can solve this. And then from there we have to see the next edge cases. Okay, so what we need is, we need to get this malloc allocator. View file. Raw. Let me replicate this guy. General's game code. Core. Library source. Vegas. wwlib. New malloc allocator dot h. Yes. Malloc allocator. Edit. Paste. Save. And that's it. And then we need to add this guy to CMake lists. Let's search for this guy. Get the malloc allocator. Looks like that takes a while. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Then we do a generate. Yeah. We also need to include this guy somewhere. Probably in always.h, or where does it get to go? Always.h. No, we directly include it. Okay. Okay, so what we do is we go to the top, and here we add the malloc allocator. There we go. I just put it here. Okay, and so we pass command line, and that would be debug set flags. What does that do? Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then here we do malloc allocator. How do we use it? STL malloc allocator. There we go. Malloc allocator. Char. char pointer. All right. And here in string, we can also give it an allocator, right? We need basic string. Oof. String. I think we just simply have to type this out. Yeah. See, and str malloc allocator. It's the type def so type def string. Yeah, string. Command line. Get command line A. Why do we have to put it in a string though? We don't need a string here. We can do lpstr. Done. lpstr. Next param. There you go. We don't need that. Okay, that also means that in client instance, you can also use a malloc allocator. You don't need to use we don't need to use this garbage here. We can reset this and this. Then we go to client instance, and then here we include malloc allocator, and then we do std. We should probably have a type def for this, maybe. Let's do type def malloc string std basic string char std. So it's char traits char traits, char, and stl malloc allocator, stl allocator char. There we go. Malloc string. Maybe in stl type stl utils. stl utils. stl utils. There's also stl type devs. Here in the stl type devs, I would say we add a include malloc allocator, and we do malloc string, and then we do basic w string. That is it's w_t, right? And then we call malloc w string. And then we can go back to our st client instance. And now we don't need this anymore because it should already be there. Malloc string. How about stl type devs? RTS. I would like to put these guys into a namespace stl. Namespace stl. Then here, this and this. Okay, then this will be stl malloc string. There we go. This function must not allocate using new, because it can be called before memory manager is initialized. Okay. Spikers add info. Okay, this looks promising so far. Let me also remove this include here because that is not necessary now. And that is also no longer necessary. Okay. I think we can put this node on this class must not allocate using new. Can be used before. Okay, this looks good. Then do we still have breakpoint set? Yeah. Okay. Let's build that and let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Did we miss anything? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's see what happens. Good. So, pre-main init, there we go. We step in this guy. Yeah, we go in here. Okay. And oh, right. We didn't update the file. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, so we step in here, pass command line. We now use the malloc allocator. Here we don't even allocate the string. Yeah. Yeah. This is token, the first one. Okay, so far so good. No allocation. There's a debug log now. Oof. Yeah. What happens with the debug log? I have no clue what happened here. Um, do log outputs. The log file. I think this one is still null. So it doesn't actually log out anything. Yeah, I think that's it. It basically won't do anything. That's it. Okay, well, I guess that's fair. Okay, so hold on. Parse replay. It is supposed to call in there. Here, let me put a breakpoint here. Ah, no, it doesn't call in there because we don't have a minus replay. Let me put in here one. Debug minus replay. Just put some garbage here, doesn't matter. Let's do that again. Okay, now it lands in here. There we go. And this one is still null. This one is not initialized. So we set the multi-instance. We skip the primary instance. Turn 2. The client instance params. And now we can initialize. It's not initialized. This one is using malloc. So far, so good. Okay, that looks very nice. Okay. We should probably also say here. So this has initialized correctly now. We don't have any recursive calls to initialize, and the lock should happen now. Let me see. Generals, English, and we're looking at this one here. Initialized. Okay. Okay. Now it calls in here again, but now we already have one and we're good to go. bit surprised that it doesn't log more here. Oof. It launched in full screen for some reason. I'm surprised to see that. I'm also surprised to see that we don't see any more logging in here. That's strange. Did we open the correct log? It's instance 02 for some reason. That's strange. Ah, right, because we started with replay. Right. Okay, let me reset this logging here. Okay, so, but now the next question is, why did it not... it did not... Huh? No. Win main. It should have went in here, right? Let me see that. Yeah, so the big question mark is, why did it not pass the minus win? Okay, so up to here, everything seems to work. It passes the replay, it does some stuff here. And now it gets here. Okay, so what happens? Create the global data. That should work, right? Then it gets here again. For the first time, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it launches full screen. It launches full screen. Yeah, why is that? So we create the global data here. Yeah. This one is false. We set it to true. Now we do pass command line, argv, command line. Huh. Huh. Why is this huh? I'm confused. Properties. We do launch it with some command line arguments. Let me put a breakpoint here. Okay, so the first time we call it, it looks like this. Yeah, there it looks correct, right? Then we call into a bunch of things, blah, blah, blah. And then we do that and that. So now we have the second time in here, but a bit later. And suddenly, this looks very different. Why? How? I have no clue. What happens on the third time? Also wrong. Oof. Okay, so before it used std string. Let's try stl malloc string. Just to be sure that this has no influence on that thing. I'm a bit shocked. I don't understand. That makes no sense. So this one, somehow I cannot see it. Huh? I cannot see it. Is it optimization or program? So this one looks perfectly correct, right? Good. So then next call. This one also looks correct now. Maybe it was just optimization that looks strange. Or maybe it has something to do with the malloc string here. Strange. Why is it working now? Yeah, I'm so confused. Let me switch it back to what it was before. PSTR. There we go. Okay, so first one looks perfectly fine. And second one looks strange. Why is this? I don't understand. How is this possible? How is this possible? How is this possible that this behaves so differently? Huh? Am I stupid? Get command line A. Could it be that it's modified? Oh. I suspect that next param is modifying this, right? Oh, it's modifying it. That's why. I see. I see. Okay, so we have to use malloc string here as well. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Okay, and then next step, let's go into client, into WinMain. So this one is quite early, right? Very early. Why can't this be so late? Initialize app windows. Does message box A work in console application? I think that's a question for ChatGPT. Does Windows API message box A, does Windows message box A function work in console applications or applications without any windows, without any self-created windows? Yes, does work in console applications or applications that do not create their own windows. Okay, that's good. Then I think what this means that we should move this guy What is this doing? So it should be So it should be before pass command line for startup. That's for sure. Why is this here? I don't know. Can we put it maybe behind? We can definitely put it behind here. What about this one? Can put it before this one. I would say move them here. I think that's a good fit. Yeah. 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 Init memory manager. I'm surprised that this memory manager is also not initting memory manager prior to main. I'm surprised. So it's only called in WinMain. So why don't we call this here also in here? And then here we simply do that. Debug init, debug log. I think that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so we initialize a memory manager here, which then also initializes debug. And then we are ready to go and pass the command line for startup. And the command line for startup, it also inherently passes this one for this. Yeah. Now we could. I think it does not hurt here to call pass. startup for client instance. Let's command line for client instance. Let's call this right in front of this one. And so now the problem is it would be good. Ah, shit. I think we need to implement it a bit differently. We need we have minus replay, and we do pre-pass replay. There we go. Let's say pass replay for client instance. There we go. And then we can also remove this here again. Don't need that. Then we say int, make a copy of this, and we remove this, and and then we say if not initialize this. Then this is pass replay for client instance. And then here we remove this. Okay. global data needs to be initialized before passing the command line. Okay. We can remove this. It's implicit with this information. Okay, cool. I think this looks good. I think this will work correctly. We cannot really test the code path in WinMain because the memory manager is always initialized before we get here, because we do have static strings and maybe static vectors that already initialize the memory manager way before this one. So yeah, this is not happening. Actually curious, so here we shut down the memory manager, but then what happens with those statics that have been allocated before? Like, how are these cleaned up then? That's weird. I don't know. Good. I think this will work. Yeah. Yeah. It's quite a change, isn't it? Maybe we should move the pass command line for client instance into the initialize. Maybe. Because essentially we call it here. Now, regarding the init memory manager, I'm not so comfortable with changing this here. Maybe we do that. Maybe we put that back in here. And we go to WinMain and we put start the log. Put that in here. And then here we remove this. Then here we remove that. Debug. Yeah, so I'm inclined to move this thing into here because it's only needed in there, so might as well just do it in there. All right, it's client instance. Well, on the other hand, it's kind of weird. No, maybe it shouldn't be in here. No. No, we can. I think it's probably better we leave it outside. Yeah. Because it's like an external setup for client instance. It's not. It shouldn't be part of client initialization that it reads a command line and then sets settings based on that, right? It's something that we tell from external, hey, please, I want to do that, right? So I think this is fine. Okay, let's. It looks very promising. I'm trying to find that there's something wrong with it and then fix it, but I think this is solid. Yeah, it's probably solid. Here we can. Guess here we can reset this one. Yeah, accommodate. Regarding this string here, oh, I thought that we had multiple of these. We do. 2. Okay, so we have STL malloc allocator here, STL malloc string there, param for client instance, yeah. This one we can reset, we don't need that. Or actually, no, we need that. We need that. See, there's a bug. There we go. Actually, no, it's not a bug. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Client instance. Client. Yeah, clients. Let me put a breakpoint in here. I think what we can maybe do is in pass replay for this. I think we can remove this condition. I think so. Because we only ever call it before we call, yeah. I think this is okay. Now it needs to rebuild the whole project. Oof, what is this? It's 1 hour. I probably want to take a short break. Oh, we have some compile hours. Oops. Oops. Win main? How? Error. Oh. Of course. I probably want to take a break. Yeah, I want to take a short break and then I will be back. Yeah. Okay.